this is CDT Kinseth Peterson. I'm going to give you tips and tricks on rucking. That doesn't necessarily mean how to pack it or like what the packing list for rucking should be, but more like what stuff to do before, how to make them easier, just overall. So we're going to start with the initial stuff. So that's like hydration and eating before. So for hydration, you want to drink. If the ruck's in the morning, you want to drink the entire day before. So I have a 32-ounce hydro flask. I like to drink at least 100 ounces the day before and leading up until I go to sleep. If it's during the night, say like you have a ruck at 8 p.m. because you had to reschedule or something like that, or just that's how it happened, you would hydrate throughout the day, so just drink water throughout the day. For nutrition, you would want to eat adequate enough meals. Like you don't want to skip a meal if you have a ruck the next day, and you want to focus more on carbs because it's intensive cardio because you're walking for a long distance with weight on your back. Yeah, so that's the initial things. The next would be uniform. Generally when you're rucking, you want to wear like the basic uniform regardless of what temperature it is, because regardless if it's like say like 10 degrees or if it's 90 degrees, it's eventually gonna feel, you're eventually gonna feel hot. You're gonna feel hot regardless of what temperature it is. So you don't want to wear stuff like silks because you'll become probably heat casualty, because I have rucked in below freezing temperatures and I had just this on and I was freezing at the beginning, and at the end I was pretty sweaty. So yeah, you don't want to do that. And next on the uniform thing, you want to have your boots nice and tight. You can see here that they're basically that two ends have come together. That's how tight you want them to be. You don't want them to be moving around and stuff like that, because then that's more likely to cause friction and thus blisters, and you don't want those because it becomes hard to walk with those on and harder to get through the ruck. There's also another trick with dress socks. Do not have a pair of dress socks, but with the dress socks, you can wear dress socks underneath your regular socks, and then put your regular socks over that and put on your boots, and it becomes less likely to get blisters. So there's that. There's also picking the right kind of boots. So I think these are the wet weather boots. They help with like whether it's obviously like damp and stuff like that. But there's also boots like you can buy like these Nike boots. These are more lightweight and they have less support in the ankle. What you want is support. So I don't recommend these, but some people do. But I don't know how people get through rucks with these on, because generally it comes down to support because you're just trying to keep yourself up and keep yourself walking. But yeah, you want to steer clear of stuff about ankle support, and you want to go. Generally, standard issue are pretty good. There's other boots like the Rockies and stuff like that people use. But if it's like below freezing, I would suggest gloves at the beginning. These you obviously can't wear anymore because digital is out of date, but this is from my unit, so I'm authorized to wear these. Regardless, you can wear gloves, but like towards the middle, your hands are gonna feel sweaty from rucking and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're kind of cold at the beginning, feel free to wear gloves, but just keep your cargo pockets free to put those through halfway through. Yeah. So also, if you have a certain uniform that you're wearing while you're rucking, say you have your PC or ACH on, feel free to let yourself air out if the cadre will let you. Especially with like these both, they like to keep heat in. These are easier to just like pop off and just let your head air out. These not so much because you have to kind of unclip them and take them off. But yeah, if need be, try and air out your head because it gets pretty hot in there, and being a heat casualty is not a good thing. Okay. So next we have like water sources just in general. Like I said, you do need to hydrate before, but you also need to hydrate during because you're gonna be losing a lot of sweat. You're not gonna really feel it when you're doing it, but you'll be swimming in sweat. So you want to keep either this kind of like a water bottle in like your sustainment pouch on the side of your ruck, or you can have, if you have a camelback, you can use a camelback, fill it up. You can attach it to the top like that or under that, and it makes it easier to get a hold of the little mouthpiece. Yeah. So next would be packing. So the packing, apparently it's different for boys and girls. I didn't know this, but for boys you want to have you want to pack up. You want to pack light to heavy because your shoulders are more strong. And apparently for girls you want to have like the heavy parts at the bottom and the light at the top because women are more strong in their hips. So say an ACH, books, and these. The books are going to be heavier than the ACH and the boots, so you probably go the books, ACH, and then the boots at the top, right in there. And then you also want to make sure it's like as compact as possible. By that I mean like being as dense as possible. So you want to have it like cinched down as much as possibly can, so it doesn't move around. If it moves around, it becomes harder to maintain your pace when you ruck, and also becomes, it just becomes more difficult overall. If you've ever tried to like run with a backpack like not cinched down, it's pretty difficult. Next thing is, if the things that you want to get a hold of faster and quicker, you want to put in your sustainment pouches. So like a flashlight, you might need that, so you wouldn't want to put in your sustainment pouch. So yeah, that would go in the sustainment pouch. Maybe have MRE, but with the MREs, they kind of take up the entire sustainment pouch. So kind of want to put it up. You want to kind of pre-pack it by taking all the contents. Some people don't like the entirety of the contents in there, so like there's the entree, there's snap crackers, all that jazz. So whatever you don't need, like say like you don't need this, obviously, it just tells you what the nutrition is. Say you don't like M&Ms, throw M&Ms away. You might just need some of these, but like, yeah. If you don't plan on cooking it, throw that away. So yeah, you can just put that and put it in your sustainment pouch, whatever you need. Just takes up less surface area than the entire thing would. But you can also keep these in order to like kind of roll up and keep stuff like protected from the weather. So say you got like socks and a shirt. So if you want to keep them protected from the weather, you could wrap them up in something like this. Yeah. But there's also other options to just the MRE thing. Use a plastic bag, Ziploc bag, any other plastic thing you want to, and you would put it in there, and it would keep it away from the bugs and also the weather, like if it rains, it snows, stuff like that. There's also another thing you can do for the boots. You can also pack your socks down in your boots whenever you pack them in, and so it takes up less space because you don't have to deal with like, oh, where am I going to put my socks and my boots, because it takes less surface area. That's what you want to do whenever you pack your rucks. So yeah. So yeah, I think that is all I have for tips and tricks on rucking right now. So yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to comment. And thank you for listening. Bye.